The Great Gatsby isn't just a love story. It's a novel that shines a light on ambition, illusion, and the emptiness beneath America's glittering surface. In this quick A-level analysis, we'll unpack Fitzgerald's context, key language levels, and stylistic choices so that you can push your essays beyond the basics and towards top-band insight. If you'd like a full breakdown of every chapter with activities and exam-style practice, check out our Gatsby A-Level Revision Workbook. It's designed to give you all the tools you need: chapter summaries, key quotes, language analysis, and if you're doing the language and literature combined specification, it will have tasks to help you practice exactly what the exam demands, which is recasting. You'll find the link in the description and I'll mention it again at the end. But now let's dive into the novel itself. The novel is set in 1920s America, a time often called the Jazz Age. This was a period of rapid economic growth, wild parties and the rise of new money, but also of prohibition, corruption, and deep social inequality. Fitzgerald himself lived this lifestyle, so he writes with both fascination and critique. For A-Level AO3, you must show how context shapes meaning. Gatsby's story isn't just personal, it's symbolic of the American dream itself. The idea that anyone can reinvent themselves and achieve success, which Fitzgerald ultimately exposes as hollow. The story is told through Nick Carraway, a first-person narrator who is both involved in events and yet slightly detached. This makes him an unreliable narrator. He admires Gatsby but judges almost everyone else. The framing structure, Nick telling the story 2 years later, adds melancholy and reflection. This is important at discourse level. All our impressions of Gatsby, Daisy, and Tom are filtered through Nick's eyes. A top-level essay doesn't just summarize events, it explores how the narration itself shapes meaning. Fitzgerald's use of lexis and semantics constantly contrasts wealth with decay. The parties are described with glowing words like glittering and golden, suggesting allure and excess. In contrast, the Valley of Ashes is built from a field of dust, grey and withered, an image of poverty and moral collapse. This clash is deliberate. It shows that behind the surface glamour lies emptiness. For AO2, it's not enough to spot words. You must group them into semantic fields and explain how they reinforce bigger ideas like illusion versus reality. Fitzgerald relies heavily on symbolism. The green light at the end of Daisy's dock symbolizes Gatsby's unreachable dream, both hope and distance. The eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckleburg suggest a godlike presence, watching over the characters, but they're just a faded advert, a symbol of moral emptiness and consumerism replacing faith. The Valley of Ashes symbolizes decay. The byproduct of excessive wealth is the destruction of those left behind. In your essays, referencing these motifs is essential because they carry the novel's central meanings without Fitzgerald stating them directly. At the heart of the novel are three key themes. First, the American dream. Gatsby reinvents himself but can never cross the class barrier into Daisy's world. Second, love and desire. Gatsby's obsession is less about Daisy herself and more about what she represents, the perfect dream of a golden past. Third, class division. Tom and Daisy represent old money and its security. Gatsby is new money with style but not status. Myrtle and George are crushed by their lack of wealth. For AO4, these themes connect easily up to other texts about ambition, class, and illusion. Fitzgerald's style is one of the reasons the novel is so powerful. His long, flowing sentences mimic dreamlike thought, creating a rhythm and atmosphere. He layers metaphor and simile. Daisy's voice is famously described as full of money, a fresh comparison that links her directly to wealth and desire. But glamour is always undercut by melancholy. Nick often describes beauty and then hints at emptiness. This blend of admiration and critique is central to Fitzgerald's technique. And for AO2, you should always link language features back to how they mirror the novel's themes. The closing line captures the novel's tragic vision. Gatsby believed in the green light, the dream just out of reach. Yet Fitzgerald shows how dreams, like the American dream itself, are always slipping away. Human beings strive forward, but we are dragged back by memory, history, and reality. That mixture of hope and despair is what makes the novel timeless. For A-level, ending an essay with this cyclical, reflective style shows examiners you understand both Fitzgerald's craft and the novel's ultimate message. If you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're currently studying this as a set text, you'll love their Gatsby A-level revision workbook, so don't forget to purchase. See you soon!